What's going on YouTube? It's your boy Killer Cam Frank coming back at you, another part of our spread offensive ebook. If you guys enjoy this, make sure you slam that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and make sure you comment down below which style ebook you like the best. I've done a whole bunch of different styles. If you haven't watched the whole spread ebook series, I definitely recommend you do so because they all play off each other very, very well. But let's waste no more time and hop right into it. You know what it is, boys. We're back in the spread playbook, and we got a good one for you today. So what we're going to be going over today is the formation normal Y off. And this is a very unique formation in the spread / pass balance offensive playbook for a couple reasons. But the main reason is because it has a very, very, very special run play that we're going to put in our audibles, and it is called midline read option. This is the only midline read option in the entire game. And if we run the regular read option, you guys are going to see it's basically a regular read option. So we're going to read this outside pass rusher. On the right, we're going to read the defensive end, and he goes with the running back, so we keep it with the quarterback right here. We're able to pick up big yards. Obviously, you fumbled, but that's not the point. The midline read option is a little bit different. So we see the read key goes to the defensive tackle. And this is super important for a couple reasons. One, if you have a quarterback with good speed, you're going to be able to get outside of this defensive tackle pretty much every single time, and the read key is never going to move from this D tackle on this midline read option. It's designed for this. So we see this right here. He goes with the running back, and we have a huge lane up the middle. And we're using Justin Fields here for this example because of this midline read option. So we switch the midline. And again, even if he plays the quarterback, we're going to be able to get outside and we're going to be able to pick up yards on this pretty much every single time. Which means the user is going to have to play this. And honestly, this is a really, really hard run to stop. If you guys remember QB Rat from last year, this is a very similar concept. The deep tackle comes free every single time. But even if we decide to keep it with the running back, a lot of times you'll be able to get past that defensive tackle. And a lot of times that's where people are going to put their inside stuff. And if you flip the play, you can make it for sure where somebody keeps their inside stuff because it's going to be on one of those two D tackles. So if you know they have a slow D tackle with inside stuff, even like right there, they played the running back, we're still able to hand it off to the running back and pick up big yards. So this play is super, super important to this scheme, and it is a big reason why I think this formation is so good. So we keep it right here with the running back. We're still able to outflank the D tackle and pick up yards. And then, of course, he's not playing the quarterback at all. A lot of the time they won't. Usually they won't play the quarterback on this unless they set their defense to conservative. And even if you do, you're still going to be able to get past them. So this is free rush yards every single play until the user just learns how to gap shoot this. But it's so hard to gap shoot, and you don't know if it's an inside zone or the read option. It's really hard to read. This play is incredible. So one of the only other run plays that we have in here, besides the RPOs, which we'll get into in just a second, is the 45 quick base. And I really, really like 45 quick bases. I think they are incredible run plays. They're not as good this year as they have been in years past, but as long as you can follow that blocker to the outside, you're going to be able to pick up yardage pretty much every single time. So the 4-5 quick base, definitely a good go-to run. And if you guys want to come out in this and have the read option or the midline option in your audibles, you can definitely do that. And if you want to have this in your audibles and come out in the midline option, you could do that as well. So passing the baton to our gunslinger quarterback / hot route master. I'm probably not going to give you guys too many hot route master setups for this because this is more like a running quarterback style offense, or at least for the mini scheme right here. So I'm going to give you guys mostly just normal setups that you can do without hot route master. Just FYI, we're not going to need any apprentices or anything crazy with this one, but there are a couple RPOs I do want to briefly go over. We have the RPO Alert FL screen right here. And again, zone coverage is pretty good. You can usually throw the bubble. Like right here, we are able to throw the bubble. We're going to be able to get to the outside, pick up a couple of yards. You always have the option to hand it off to our running back too. I don't think I need to go over these too much. The little screen on that outside, a lot of the time when they're pressed up like that, like if you throw it, it's probably going to be a pick. You do get the block right there, but you just have to throw it so quick. I really don't think that it is a great idea to throw that. I think if you're going to throw anything, it's probably the bubble screen. But one thing I do want to go over with these RPOs is that, you know, I went over in the last video that if you motion, it creates a hitch with these RPOs. So like if I motion this guy out, he turns into a hitch. But one other thing is if you motion him back, he stays as a hitch. So if you want to do that with these RPOs, you can create a lot of different unique route combos that you normally wouldn't be able to with RPOs and really have everybody going out on routes. So you can do something like this where you have like double hitches and a screen on that right side and then the bubble with nobody to block for him, but of course we do have the option. So I just wanted to go over that real quickly. Obviously you don't want to throw any of those hitches right there. They were guarded pretty well, but something I did want to mention. The other RPO that we have in this formation is a little bit better. None of these RPOs are really super OP. We're mostly in this formation for the midline read option, although there is a very good pass play that we're going to go over here momentarily. We'll come out in a cover 3 cloud for this. We do have this RPO right here, which is similar to RPOs that we've gone over before. And again, if you want to motion back, you can do that. If you want to motion and like snap one of those hitches, that is always an option. But right here, just the basic RPO, you always do have the option to throw to the tight end, or you can throw that little slant. The RPO slants against anything but man, I just don't think are very good because they're going to get picked off most of the time. As you see right there, there's just not a lot of space to throw it. One thing about this, though, is that sometimes you will get a nice little block on the tight end right there. We didn't that time, but in some situations you will. Sometimes you want to throw that on the goal line. But really we're in this for just this little run play right here. So we do have a jet touch pass in this. And I really like jet touch passes, especially against man coverage. The way that the defense plays them this year just isn't great. We also have extra blockers to that right side, which is another reason I like this so much. And if you can really hit the edge with this, a lot of the time you'll be able to pick up huge yardage. Like right here, the outside receiver didn't hold his block very well. But if he did, we would be pretty much off to the races. He kind of takes a wide angle on this jet pass. So really, like, if you can hit the edge, you are off. And for whatever reason in practice mode, they just shed so much better. Always remember that, guys, that this doesn't look exactly the same in-game. Usually these plays are even better in-game just because the practice mode sheds are so crazy. But right there, we're able to get the outside with pits, and we're able to pick up huge yardage. Now, we also have a fake jet touch pass. Actually, 2 fake jet touch passes. We have the zone fake touch pass. I like this one. A little misdirection. It does take the corner with it, so you have an extra guy leaving with that wide receiver going in motion away from where you're running the ball, which is always good if your opponent is running man coverage. So this is not a bad run play at all. And also, a lot of the time, will get your opponent's user running the other direction to where they really can't shoot the run. So I think these are super underrated in Madden. A lot of people go for like the meta, inside zone, 0-1 trap kind of calls. But these kind of gadget plays are actually really good. As you see, we're picking up consistent yardage. And one other play that I think is actually very good. And some people might think I'm crazy for this, because this is a completely stock play. You can't do anything unique with it at all. But the play itself is unique. We have the PA jet touch pass. And here, I'll show you guys just against man coverage. This is actually really good. This is a really good pass play. It smokes man. Like that post from Randy Moss right there. It smokes man. The crosser from Donald Parham, it smokes man as well. And then I'll just let you guys see how it plays out. So I'll show you guys right here real quick. I'll try to buy some time. And you guys see that post? Like, look how well that does. Now, of course, I got the deep out zone KO that knocked that out. But that post smokes man. Like, pretty much every single time, completely smokes it. And then we also have all of our dump down routes, and that crosser right there also smokes man coverage. Donald Parham has not been great for me. This is the 90 overall, like the one day that he's active, and he hasn't been great for me. He's dropped a lot of passes, but I digress. You guys see pretty much everything is open, and then of course, pretty bad throw right there, but on that comeback route, that is always going to be open against man coverage as well. So this is a super underrated play, guys. It's something I had to mention just because I think it's very good, really because of that post. But we also have the comeback route and the crosser that do really well against man coverage. And then against zone, you have the dump down underneath to either triangle or R1. So really good combination of plays right there between the zone fake jet, the actual jet pass, and the PA jet. And if you guys have been around the channel for a minute, you guys know I love my motion halfback swing passes. And this is a pretty good one right here. Against man, it's really good, but against zone, I think it's probably even better. I'll show you guys here in just a second. When the guy doesn't run with them, this is like a free yards pretty much every single time. And again, in practice mode, a lot of the time, they just don't pick up their blocks like they should. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't, but in game, they're going to pick up their blocks most of the time. Like that slot corner is not going to come in free. I can show you guys what this looks like against man coverage. And unlike some of the jet touch or some of the motion swing passes that we have in this game, especially in this spread playbook, against man coverage, the middle linebacker will run with the running back, but not all the way. As you guys see right there, he starts to leak over to that side, and a lot of the time he'll get caught up right there, but we're still able to pick up an easy 5 yards. So this is a really, really nice play. It's a good go-to, and we always do have the option to keep it with our quarterback right here. Obviously, we got destroyed. Our right tackle just got absolutely murdered. Or was that our tight end? Maybe it was Donald Parham right there. Somebody got killed on that play, but those guys aren't going to come free in game. You also have the option to throw it to circle on that little screen pass. So it's something I had to mention right there. I do like the motion swing pass. We also have the same kind of concept right here, except it's a little bit misdirection. There's a lot of misdirection in this playbook in general. And this is the tight end screen, which is same kind of motion, except this time we're going to be able to have the option to dump it off to our tight end. And against man and zone coverage, this tight end screen is actually pretty good. And a lot of the time their user is going to run with the running back, and that's going to leave this tight end screen completely uncovered. Tight end screens are actually really good this year's game. Some of this stuff is super underrated, and people think it's cheesy because it's not the meta, but this is really, really effective. And your opponents are going to be frustrated as hell when you're playing this. I get people yelling at me in Weekend League all the time because I'm running this offense, and it's just so hard to stop. So we have the tight end screen right there. Last thing I want to go over in regards to this kind of motion stuff is one play spot wheel. Now, the thing with this spot wheel play is there's a couple things. I'm going to show you guys some setups that I like a lot against it, but for whatever reason in practice mode, and I'm going to make sure I turn match off here. In practice mode, these guys just, a lot of the time they'll come in free off the edge, and you'll see what I mean here in a second. But what I like to do is either put my running back, or not my running back, my tight end on a flat or an out route, and then I like to streak my outside receiver right there. And I'll show you guys what that does here in just a second, but like you see right there, they just come in free off the edge for literally no reason. Like the linemen don't even try to block them, and I'm not really sure why that's the case, but every single time you guys are going to notice, like pretty much they come in free. Now I didn't set up my route combo right there, which is why that looked like that, but if you don't step up in the pocket immediately, most of the time they're going to come in free. So this is really what I like to do right here, and what that out route slash flat does is a lot of the time it'll open up the post. One other thing you can do is streak him right here, and sometimes that'll open up the post a little bit late too. This is kind of an unorthodox route combo, but that wheel streak combo in the middle actually is really good. And as you guys can see right here, he comes untouched on the edge, something that won't happen in game. But I digress. If you actually do get time, and I'm going to block my running back, what you're going to look for right here is this wheel combo on the sideline, and the streak is going to pull any kind of deep zone. As soon as that wheel gets past the flat, we've gone over this concept before, you're going to be able to throw it for a touchdown. Not a touchdown, but a huge gain right there. And it also does really, really good against man coverage. I'm not going to try to run this play a bunch because, like I showed you, the blocking is just terrible. Like, you have to block pretty much everybody here in practice mode just to get enough time to throw that wheel route, which doesn't make any sense. Like, everybody's just coming in untouched. Even my defensive tackle, or even their defensive tackle, just runs past my guard and center. So for whatever reason, that's just really stupid. And this post actually is really good as well, but we're not going to have enough time to throw it, so that's something I'm not going to be able to show you here, unfortunately. Lab it yourself in-game. This is really good. You can either put the streak or the flat, and then if you want to get rid of the auto motion, you can put your running back on either a wheel or a streak, and that is a really, really good route combo too. The tight end flat slash out route will pull any kind of flat zone to the sideline and open up a nice little window for you to be able to throw that wheel route. Right there, obviously, we're just getting screamed at every time, but that's why I can't show you guys this play too much in practice mode. So with the play double dig, this is a really nice play too. And the reason is that against man coverage, this corner route is really, really sharp, and it does a great job at breaking. So I'll see if I can showcase that right here. You can put a drag underneath right here just to go both ways and put your running back on a wheel route. Let's see if we can get this to work right here. And again, that corner route just does great against man coverage. Now, obviously, universal coverage is going to knock that out right there. But you guys are going to have to trust me. This is one of the really, really good corner routes against man. Hopefully we can get a chance to showcase it right there. We do get separation. I overthrew it a little bit, but it does great on the sidelines. If you do have Hot Route Master, you can put this guy on a corner route too. Like I said, it's very similar to the tight end corner routes. You guys can see the similarity there. If you smart route it, it's pretty much the same thing. But you're getting it from the wide receiver position, which is hard to find in this year's game. You don't usually get the good corner routes like this. So when you do, you want to take advantage of them, especially against man coverage, because it's going to get separation consistently. And that is Avonte Maddox against Kyle Pitts, and Avonte Maddox has 92 speed and really, really good man coverage. And Kyle Pitts doesn't have crazy medium route running. The route tech and the universal coverage cancel each other out, but this is a very, very, very good play against man coverage. And against zone coverage, we're going to work the same kind of flood concepts that we usually do right here. What I like to do is put this guy on a streak, and then you can either motion this tight end over or motion your running back over. We're going to put our running back on a flat right here. You can also put them on an out route, but I'm going to put them on a flat right here, and then you have the double digs over the middle for check downs, and then of course we're going to be looking for the corner route on the sideline, and right there we are able to find it for a massive gain. So we have that flood concept to that left side, of course, against any kind of zone coverage. It also does really good against match, which is good to know. Those steep corner routes, usually match doesn't play them super well. So you always do have that as an option. And this Donald Parham route also does pretty good against man coverage. If you have enough time, he will usually get enough separation for you to be able to hit him for about 10 to 15 yards. So this is the play double digs. Last thing you can do if you want, same kind of concept we went over last time, you can either put your tight end on a flat and your running back on a wheel. You can streak this outside guy too, and you can look to hit the wheel late on the sideline. See if we can showcase that right here. And we're of course getting screamed at, but as you guys see, the streak pulls off any kind of deep zone in that area. The flat pulls away any kind of zones to the sideline, and you would be able to hit the running back in a nice little window right there if we actually got a chance to throw the ball. So I'm not going to go over this too much. Practice mode has been super frustrating trying to record these videos lately. I need to make sure I take Myles Garrett out in every formation. But that's just something that I'm going to have to get used to because the X factors are always on. Hope you guys did enjoy the video. If you did, make sure you slam that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and turn that noti bell on so you're notified every time we put a video out just like these. We'll have multiple more parts to the Spread Offensive Ebook, so you guys are going to want to have that noti bell on, so you guys are going to be the first ones notified when we put out banger content just like these. You guys are going to be dominating the online head-to-head scene. Hopefully one of you guys can make a run in the MCS tournament, if not myself, with this scheme, but make sure to check because some of this stuff is banned because it's a little bit too glitchy, and the competitors don't like that kind of stuff, but we do on the channel. So make sure you get out, dominate those head-to-head streets. Let me know how you're doing with this scheme, boys. I am loving it. Hope you guys are too. As always, it's your boy Killer Cam Friend. Until the next one, peace.